All right, before we get into this video, I just want to let you know that my main channel just got its second strike for you know what. And so that means that I'm going to be down for 2 weeks, and I'll primarily be uploading here and on BitChute and on Odyssey. It appears that you and I can't talk about you know what and add commentary to the pile of you know what. But the Joe Rogans of the world, the CNNs, MSLSDs, the phone newses, they can all talk about it. They can add their commentary to it. They can push their mandates. And they can talk about the positivity of the big farm guy. But you and I can't talk about it in the negative aspect. When you cut out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're just telling the world that you fear what that man might say. So this is where I'll be uploading primarily for the next 2 weeks. Now, this is my second strike, so one more strike. And that channel that I've had for, 8, 9, 10 years, gone. Everything gone. So, it sucks. This world sucks sometimes. Janet Yellen says, and this is from NPR, Janet Yellen, Federal Reserve Chairman, says that the U.S. could run out of cash to pay its bills in less than 3 weeks. This is all scaremongering. I say, so what? If you're going to run out of cash, you know what you're going to do? Congress will increase the debt ceiling and go, oh my God, we can't fund the government. We can't fund the CIA and the FBI and the DEA and the military industrial complex and the IRS. We can't fund all these terrorist groups on American soil so we can economically terrorize Americans. We need more money so that we can do that. You know what you're going to do. You know what they always do. They go right up until the day everybody's biting their nails, and then Congress goes, let's just raise the debt ceiling and borrow more money at interest from the Federal Reserve. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warning lawmakers Tuesday that the federal government could run short of cash to pay its bills by October 18th unless Congress acts quickly. We got to pass this thing. Who cares what's in it? Just pass it. We need more money. Acts quickly to increase the government's borrowing authority. That's what we need to do. We need to increase the government's authority. If you are sitting there thinking that we need to increase the government's authority in anything, you need your head examined. The warning at an appearance before the Senate Banking Committee comes amid a standoff in Congress over the so-called debt ceiling. Yeah, so-called. There's no ceiling to it. Sky's the limit. Senate Republicans blocked a measure to increase or suspend the debt ceiling on Monday. Yellen said the exact date was subject to change given the unpredictability of the government's cash flows, because they're so reliable with the money that they steal from the American tax cattle. But she made it clear that failure to clinch a deal by mid-October would lead to the first default in U.S. history, an event she described as catastrophic for the economy. It would be disastrous for the American economy, for global financial markets, and for millions of families and workers, Yellen told senators. You know what the translation is there? This would be disastrous. If Congress decided, you know what? We need to regroup and rethink this thing. We don't need to be borrowing all this money from the Federal Reserve. We need to start living within our means, like any American household would have to do. Sit down and make a budget and stick to that budget. When you go beyond that budget, you get indebted, and then debt collectors start knocking at your door saying, hey, got to have that house back. We need your cars back. You can't have those things. You overextended yourself, but nobody's going to knock on the door of the American government and do that. And they know it. They're the foxes watching the hen house. She warned that Social Security benefits, child tax credits, and paychecks for the military could all be jeopardized if the federal government is unable to borrow more money from us at interest. Yellen cautioned that even flirting with a default could rattle financial markets. These are threats, guys. She's not cautioning. She's not warning. She's threatening. If you don't continue to do business with us, the Federal Reserve, the entire world is going to slip into an apocalyptic nightmare. She recalled an earlier standoff during the Obama administration in 2011 when Congress waited until the last minute to raise the debt limit, resulting in higher borrowing costs for both the government and consumers. See how indebted you guys are to the Federal Reserve? See how much you need us? This would be, listen to this. Listen to this sentence right here. This, in other words, not borrowing more money, would be a manufactured crisis we have imposed on this country, Yellen said. It would be a self-inflicted wound of enormous proportions. Listen to that again. I know what she says she's talking about, but we all know the reality of this. This would be a manufactured crisis. Indeed, it has been. Just like we've been saying for years, this is all, since 1913, this has been a manufactured, managed crisis. And you know what they say about the government and crises. You never want a good crisis to go to waste. Rahm Emanuel said, what I mean by that is, it gives you an opportunity to do things you otherwise couldn't have done unless there was a crisis. What is that? Do things. Oh yeah, that's exert more power and authority and control. Remember what Amschel Rothschild said, if you give me control of the nation's money, I don't give a damn who makes the laws. It doesn't matter to me. We control the purse strings. We control the value of your currency. That's how powerful we are. We can turn your freedoms on and we can turn them off. This would be a manufactured crisis we have imposed on this country. Indeed it is, Janet. Indeed it is. And you can't question the Federal Reserve. Like Alan Greenspan said, hey, it doesn't matter about the executive branch. It doesn't matter what the judicial branch says. It doesn't matter what the legislative branch says. As long as nobody questions us, we're all cool with the Federal Reserve being behind the wheel and in the driver's seat. So get in the back and shut up, and Congress will raise the debt ceiling at the last minute, probably again, because it's all a dog and pony smoke and mirrors show. If you guys get something out of these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and I will see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.